And we're live again for real this time. For real. Real. Dave, I love my new camera, man. I think this is great.
I'm impressed that you build it yourself.
Yes, there's a Raspberry Pi, you can pretty much do anything. I didn't know if it would work, so I didn't leave a video, but there's a video that you can find them everywhere. It's fairly easy to find this material on YouTube. I'm amazed about the quality. It kind of takes in the whole room and nearly knocked the MacBook off the table, but hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
So, welcome, ladies.
Yeah. So, you want to do welcome? You doing?
Oh, no, you can do it. You haven't been here for a while.
We can do an odd.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay. Well, for those of you who are listening, well, you're welcome for that intro where we talked about the video. If you're confused, head over to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Type in thewrestlingrewind.com. It'll get you right there.
Yep.
It's a great day for wrestling, everybody. Welcome back to the only show hosted by people that don't hate wrestling.
Absolutely.
And man, we have a fun one that we're covering today. I'm glad to go back into the rewind and actually rewind mode, like not Mania, which I enjoyed, and that was all great. But I'm David Stevens. Derek O'Connor's over here.
Did you call me Derek?
I didn't.
God damn it!
No. I know your name is Derek. I was. See, here's the thing.
Are you translating for Americans? Are you translating for Americans? Is that what it is?
Is that what it is? Yeah, we got to put out like 2 press releases, one UK, one
Yeah.
No, Dara, I know you're.
Yeah. Anyway, so look, you know when we were covering WrestleMania, we only did one night and then never did it again. We never like touched it again. And then I realized when you weren't here, I'm like, I should actually like finish this off. So if you guys haven't checked out, if you're checking this on Phoenix 92.5 FM and you're confused what's going on, go over to nerdtoknowmedia.com or the Rewind channel where you can get them all in little blocks. Or if you're on the Spotify feed, you can get them as one full show. Now, last week, it was a weird show for Phoenix listeners because they got like 5 or 6 little segments and then like half a WrestleMania review. So it was weird. But I blame Dave. This is Dave's fault because he canceled on me like 4 times. So Dave's fault.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair. Nope. Yeah,
Dave, I'm picking you up and just throwing you under the bus.
Well, hey, I'll just have Braun Strowman lift that bus up and I'll escape.
I know. To be fair, look, it is grand, dude, but it is great to have you back, man. When you're away for a while, it is a bit of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, hey, it kind of sucked too. It is nice to be back, but I had a daughter. That's if you all are wondering why I haven't been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Dave's slacking. His girlfriend had the baby. Dave's just slacking.
No,
you can't pull the camp.
I delivered. I carried that to term. How dare you?
Oh,
when I say that.
Yeah. So, I wonder why. I wonder why. Do not take relationship advice from Dave. He's a man of many talents. Relationships, not one of them. It's all right. I know. I kid.
He's not wrong.
No, but here's the thing, though, right? On the Nerd to Know Media Network, everyone's having babies, man. Like, it's wild. There's babies just pop everywhere. Keen started it, and then Brain, and then you. It's just like, who will be next? And that's kind of the big question today.
But speaking of who's going to be next, what a night for Goldberg it was.
Right. So this is okay. So obviously we have a new intro, which I think is super fun. I really enjoy it. Thanks to Emp Lemon for he stole stuff and I stole the rest of it, but I think it works. I like it, we do leave a clip to his channel or a link to his channel in the description of every show now because I feel bad for stealing his editing stuff. But he's a great wrestling fan, dude, and his channel's really good. So I would say check it out if you have. It's not the first time we stole from him. We stole from him many times. But
I remember that time we reviewed that guy's top 10 matches, and our biggest complaint was this is copy and paste. Yeah, welcome to the Wrestling Rewind.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Oh, well, you know what? Here, look at it this way, Dare. Yes. With history, I mean, history is just the facts. I mean, you can't be revisionist about it. Well, you can be, but then you're banned from countries. My point is, what's up, guys? I'm glad to be back on the air.
I love the way the book you remove, you go back, you circle back to it. We already have 1 copyright strike, Dave. Let's not get more.
Oh yeah. Emp, hold off till after June, man. We need something else.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, if you are checking us out in YouTube,
nobody knew about that. You didn't have to. You didn't have to.
I'm just saying. I'm just stopping here.
No, yeah, okay. Chex Mix is awesome as well.
Okay, so YouTube, Twitch, if you're checking us out there or on Periscope, please do leave a comment in the description, and wherever you can, and we'll read it out. We don't have the phone lines on because this is not our regular streaming time, and nobody knows this is happening properly. So we will have
including Dara.
No, hold on. We had all the technical issues. It was wild. Yeah, I just wanted my cool camera to work.
Well, I'm glad your cool camera works. I'm also really glad that we started this Rewind show off with 5 minutes of banter. So people are like, so do they talk wrestling or?
Well, we do talk wrestling, but we don't we don't talk about the normal wrestling, like the terrible product that's happening now at the moment. No. We are going to talk about WCW. Not only any WCW, but WCW Spring Stampede 1999. So this was a fun show. And here's the thing. There's another great YouTuber, Malark123, and his whole thing is like the Shove It Man, but he reviews terrible. Well, not terrible. Actually, sometimes it's not terrible. Sometimes it's really good. But he usually reviews terrible runs in companies. And he did a whole run on the Sandman in WCW, and he was known as Hack. And I'm like, oh man, this is great. And it wasn't. But I enjoy these hardcore matches. Like, I enjoy hardcore matches. Like, everyone knows that. I love hardcore matches. But Hack in WCW was fun, and I didn't appreciate it enough when I was a kid, because I would watch WCW. Well, obviously WWE was the big thing here, like it was in the US as well. But I still watch WCW either from it being replayed on a Friday night over here in Ireland, or I'd have it via tapes. So I'd always have it at a weird delay. So I never got the full picture of WCW as much as I would have liked. So like Hack, I think just I forgot he was there. That's what they called him in WCW, Hardcore Hack. The Sandman in WCW just kind of went under the radar, even though I had a Sandman as Hack action figure, and he came with a kendo stick and the barbed wire and stuff, and I thought that was cool. But yeah, man, it completely just went over my head a little bit. So it was kind of fun to go back and watch this. Now,
I didn't know how many ECW people were in WCW during that. I had no idea. I was like, are we watching this because it's like an ECW-esque WCW? Like, what's happening right here? I had no idea.
No, we are watching it because that's what I wanted. I figured Dave hasn't been on the show for a while. I want to give him a treat. And I figured, let's get some WCW with some ECW guys in it. Because remember...
And I already know what we're watching next week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, absolutely. Well, there's a few things we can do. Now, I'm going to throw up a poll on the channel. To see what you guys want us to do, because we can pick up from Royal Rumble. Hold on, we can pick up from Royal Rumble 2000, or we can start doing WCW in 1999 and do the full run that way, and then get back, because this show isn't going anywhere, and we have like 52 weeks in the year, so we will get through runs eventually. So what we can do, so I want to kind of put that to the folks on the poll this week. I'll be like, look, do you want us to do WCW 1999 fully, or do you want us to pick up at 2000, or we can do alternating weeks where we do 2000 one week and then 1999 one week. But I think 1999 WCW is a fun thing that not a lot of people do. Like, even through this, I was kind of looking online, and it's not really something that people cover that much. They don't really talk about it, and there's a reason for that. But I think there's some good stuff here.
Yeah. All I know is, so if you're in the US, and we've had to switch over to Peacock, which, whatever, it is what it is. It's not as good as can you let me?
N.
What?
VPN.
Okay, sir. Yes. So for the casual and or regular wrestling fans,
everyone knows.
The point. It was WrestleMania. No, listen though. So with Peacock, it's a little bit of more, figuring out where stuff is, and they have things oddly labeled. So I wanted to go watch Spring Stampede. It's not like it was before, where I would just click on 1999 and then see all of the pay-per-views in order. Instead, it's like Spring Stampede, like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which just correspond to years. Randomly whatever the years were. So but the best part is, because it's NBC that owns Peacock, they still show advertisements. So after I finished Spring 1999, I got to see a commercial for Spring Stampede 2000, which NBC assumes I'm going to watch next, which, oh my gosh, do I want to watch that next or what? So we definitely need to get into, because that's going to get into the area of wrestling that I feel like I'm going to love. when I saw it, it was basically just Vince Russo's show, and he's running everything. Oh my gosh, Dara, I'm so excited.
I know. I'm not shocked that it took us so long to get to WCW, but I kind of am at the same time, like particularly with you. But like we weren't really watching around this time period. So for me, it's like, oh right, let's get the good stuff first before we start digging through the dregs.
So that way, if you are watching this, you can go back on our channel and watch reviews of really big good shows.
Yeah.
But we have done amazing. I mean, we did Sold Out, which was just great. We did World War III for WCW, but I have a perfect track record.
For reference, this is why Dave isn't allowed to pick things.
Right, but that said, that's why we're having polls now, because it's basically to block me out of voting. I feel like we're trying to form a parliament, and I can't get that one guy to switch over to my side so I can remain prime minister for another 17 years.
No, Dave, no. Absolutely not happening.
Too direct of a reference.
But what I'm saying is, right, what we can do is, I don't mind, like, I don't mind covering. We can do pay-per-views and runs where we just do full runs of pay-per-views, but that's a bad way of doing it. What I'd rather do is year to year, like year full runs, and then that way it's in some sort of order.
Oh, dude, when I saw the video package leading up to 2000 Spring Stampede, I was like, this I need to watch this filler here, and I feel like it's kind of good because we started with basically, the Attitude Era of WWE, and we were playing up until this time period, and now once Russo kind of flipped shows, we've started to kind of flip over. So it's be interesting to see his heights in both companies is what I'm fascinated to watch.
Well, see, that's it, because I think they kind of start complementing each other, and we're given context. So for me, I kind of want to go back to January and kind of watch the first show, or we can even go to December and watch from Starcade. I don't really mind, but we'll figure it out. I will post a poll, and you guys can let us know what you think. But I'm sure this is riveting for people who care. We should be talking about it.
Yeah, they're like, man, we love when they do show prep live. So anyway, let's get started.
Happens. This is what happens when we stop literally after we finish stuff and have to kind of go back. And WrestleMania obviously throws in the spanner as well, WrestleMania season. So because I'm not watching WWE live. That's just not happening. Modern WWE, no way. I was on the Thunderdome. Did I tell you that?
Well, you made it in, did you?
Yeah, see, Dave doesn't listen to the show.
Well, no, I didn't. Okay, well, first of all, I listen to other shows. Yeah. I've been really into like Kip Oga lately. Anyway, point is that you're welcome for the random shout out.
Yes, I was on the Thunderdome. It was fun.
Well, what happened that night where I couldn't?
I don't know.
Right. I have a baby.
You did.
But no, I did actually get the link to sign in, but I was like, and then I didn't. So
no, it was fun. Now for anyone for anyone who hasn't checked it out, there is a small video on the channel, and the Spotify listeners, it's part of the show last week. Man, look, it's really fun. I would say if anyone hasn't done it, definitely give it a shout. Like, it's very weird because when you go to shows and there's some guy, it used to happen in Impact all the time where Jeremy Borash would be like, all right guys, come on, big cheers and you get merch.
Yeah.
In this, it's like, it's the same kind of thing, but instead of getting merch, it's like, we'll kick you out if you're not animated. So it's fun, and they move you around a lot. Now, to be fair, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool experience. Now, the weird thing about it is cheering at 3 in the morning is not something that's going to happen. But if you kind of just get into it, it's a bit of fun. But I wouldn't do it.
They don't use any audio from your side, right?
Apparently, they say that they do, but there's no way that they do.
There's no way they do.
It's not. It's video game audio that they use. But
it has to be.
Yeah, look, I'd say if you're broke or don't want to pay for cable, just show up, and it's a free way to watch all the shows, which is true. But I would rather do anything else than sit there for 3 hours on Raw, and SmackDown is a bit tough.
Well, I'm currently boycotting Raw because AJ is the tag champion. He hasn't been on since WrestleMania. The tag champion. Nothing.
You expect too much from the show.
I don't expect a lot. I really don't. Here's what I expect. I expect AJ Styles. Do you know how much merch that guy sells? You want to talk merch? Like, why? What are you doing? He had a great match at WrestleMania that got people excited. Yeah, you know what I'm doing right now, guys? What I'm doing right now is I'm illustrating how we get past show planning and push Derek to actually talk about the topic at hand so we can get the show rolling.
Fair. Anyway, I would say Thunderdome, is fun to go to. If you haven't done, I would recommend it. Just do not go to Raw. Go to SmackDown.
Yeah, Mad Max's is the way to make sure you get that DLC when you enter in.
Anyway, so we're going to get into the time machine and go back to April 11th, 1999. Way back in the day, over 22 years. And
God.
And this came from Temecula, Washington. It's weird. I know these.
Were you translating Washington for the non-American listeners?
Washington, isn't that how you say it? Right?
Well, yeah, but you were like Washington.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh,
fair enough. Anyway,
sorry,
what I'm saying. It's funny because like, as a non-American, you bring up a good point. As a non-American and a wrestling fan, that's how you know the state capitals or different places in America from wrestling. You know, it's like, how do you know Boise, Idaho? Because that's where Tori Wilson is from. You know, it's like you just randomly, like, you just know these places. You know, it's like, I can't find it on a map. Never been there, but I know it's a thing. It's funny, but anyway. So look, this was again the reason why I wanted to watch this really was for the Hack Bam Bam Bigelow match. But
really interesting.
Yeah, because like I get, you know, Malark 123, he did a whole run on it, and that looked like one of the more fun hardcore matches, and it was pretty decent. But anyway, so what was fun about this? Well, what was interesting about the show was how it was kind of laid out. It was smack bang in the middle of the Attitude Era. It was smack bang in the middle of the McMahon Austin thing. It was just after WrestleMania, so it was Backlash, give or take. So Rock and Austin were still having.
What you mean, WrestleMania Backlash?
What did I say?
Well, no, it's officially called now WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, no, the name of that pay-per-view.
No, this is when it was just Backlash when I made.
Oh no, you go back in time and you change everything
retroactively.
Yeah, no, I have a history degree. That's true. Yeah,
fair. But yeah, so that's when this was heating up. So for context, when this nonsense was going on in WWE, when this nonsense was going on in WCW, other nonsense was going on in WCW that made it worse. But what I found really interesting about this show was it was in 1999, but felt like it was in 1995. The show felt older than it actually was. You know, you could really feel that, like, while they had some cool talent there, the writing was on the wall. Like, when I see Mikey Whipwreck come out, I'm like, why are you here? Like, that's
how I feel about Billy Kidman. I'm like, why do you exist?
Yeah, well, you know, Billy Kidman at least could do the shooting star press.
No, he couldn't.
But what could Mikey Whipwreck do?
I'm probably a better shooting star press than Billy Kidman, just like everybody else who's even tried to flip in their life.
And at least he was over.
Yeah, Mikey Whipwreck was really over, which is what I like.
Anyway,
let's start at the top.
So hold on before you get into it. Let's we start at the top, and you notice that the show gets progressively more tired as it goes on. And it was not a bad show. I really had a good time, but
we'll never know why at this rate.
By the time you get to the such a oh man, I miss Dave. I do miss Dave. I'm not ready for it at all. It's been a long day. Okay, so as we get to the show, it gets progressively more tired, like myself, as we go on. I'm gonna start drinking Red Bull before we do the show, or coffee before.
I mean, come on, man! I moved it up an hour.
I know. Okay, so I'm gonna let you take the lead here, Mr.
Thanks.
Impatient. Mr. Impatient.
Mr. Impatient. Yeah, that was actually the title of anyway. So I like cruiserweights.
Yeah.
That's no secret to anybody. And man, that's one of the things that I'll always give WCW credit for. They showed their cruiserweights, and they made their cruiserweights actually matter. Now, granted, the commentators didn't, but the company itself booked them well. So we started off with a really, really great opening match between Juventud Guerrera and Blitzkrieg. Yes. And there were moves in there that I did not expect to see in 1999. I kind of forgot that, there were people doing Phoenix Splashes back then, but then they just disappeared as a move set for like 10 years.
Yeah, about 10 years, yeah.
And then it was like, okay, they're okay again. And to be fair, WWE took the monopoly and said, don't do that kind of stuff anyway. Again, screw you to Billy Kidman for not letting Paul London be able to do it. Anyway, so the point is that
is that why
they showcase them?
Is that why you hate Billy Kidman?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least we know now.
Well, I think at some point we're going to have to watch their pay-per-view match. It's the only pay-per-view match that London ever had, and it's against Kidman, some random one, and it was over. Yeah, because they were a tag team for a while. But no, that was the issue. That was the ridiculous thing, is that London, that was his famous move, and they would not allow him to perform it because Billy Kidman was still in the company. And even after he left, then they were like, nah. And then Juventud Guerrero, who's great in this match, decided to screw up a 450, which was London's finisher. And then Vince said no to that as well. And then we had no high flying. So thank you, Spring Stampede 1999, for killing the momentum of one of my favorite wrestlers of all time 15 years later. 10 years later. Really appreciate that. However, this match was great. I enjoyed it. The fans were hot. There were way more fans there than I expected. It's still jarring during these times to see that. Well, no, I'm saying like these times that we're in, it's still weird to see 20,000 people like stacked up upon each other. So it was a bit jarring, and man, did I love to see it.
It's not. Like, to be fair, no, what's more jarring is to be fair, dude.
It was maybe it's the way that like the stadium was designed. It just seemed like
WCW looks weird, like, and it still looks weird. Like, it look even as I said, the show looks like it's from 1995 rather than from modern. Because that's the thing, WWE production has always been top notch. WCW production was not.
No.
It wasn't bad. It just
were some camera angles that I was like, why didn't you cut away? WWE knew to cut away. They're talking right now like that.
Yeah, it was just kind of, it was just strange. But I don't know. I like the feel of it. Like, they had the showdown Stampede thing was silly. I was like, and I understand that Americans are big into the whole, West Wild, cowboy thing. But it's like, for me, I'm just like, I hated it. Just like I hate Hog Wild. I was just like, this is stupid. But again, it appeals to a specific demographic. The WCW was not WWE. It was very territorial. It was very representative of a specific fan base historically. So they looked really concerned.
No, this is my interested thinking phase. I have new faces now, Derek. I've been away. Don't you know?
I have
new expressions, and
you can just probably see it better now because I have a camera.
The camera, yeah. Absolutely, with your blue cyborg eyes.
My eyes are fine. Okay, it's just the glasses.
What is happening? Why? It's my job to derail us. Oh, it's been too long.
It's been a while. See, I've been doing good keeping the show together. So now that you're back, I'm like, oh my god, a person. So
I'm just not used to being the straight one on the show.
Well, there you go, man. Someone has to be the straight man, right? One of us has to be Tony Schiavone, right? Or Mike Tenay. Actually, I have to say, I felt so sorry for Mike Tenay on the show. He gets absolutely battered on commentary by the two of them. Buried. Absolutely buried.
Like, that was like, now, did WCW have people in their headsets?
No,
like they were just, they were
just douches. They were just
douches. they were douches.
The funny thing about it is, like, at the start of the show, Bobby Heenan is like, Mike Tenay, what are you doing here? This isn't Thursday night. It's just like, oh, that's so mean, because obviously Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay would call Thunder, right?
Right.
So it's just like, oh, Nitro, we hang out, and you're over on Thunder, and you just see it in his face. He's like,
then he even makes a comment like, well, we were on Saturday this week too, and he was like, oh yeah, I didn't watch that either.
I didn't watch it. I was still having fun, and you're like, oh, that's so mean. Like, you shouldn't derail your own product like that, which is what they do.
They were literally saying our show's so bad that we don't watch it ourselves. And also, hey, this match that's happening, that's actually pretty entertaining. The crowd's into it. We're going to tear them apart by saying how they're being stupid for doing the moves that they do and all this kind of stuff. And at the same time, Tenay's trying to bring it back and saves the match by the end, like legitimizing it. And yet then the whole time they're like, well, how would we know about this? We're not going to watch on Thursdays to see how this plays out. Like, who? I don't know, man, but it was fun. Okay, so then Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Hack. This was near the end of Bam Bam's career.
It was. And Hack is the Sandman. That Sandman of ECW fame. He came in and his whole thing was against Bam Bam Bigelow. And Bam Bam Bigelow literally made Hack his you-know-what, because he just could never beat him. That was his whole thing. He just never, ever beat Bam Bam. Now, Hack did have some cool matches, to be fair. I don't know, man. I just don't buy it. Like, we'll talk about this as well later on because Raven is there and Perry Saturn and stuff like that. I just don't buy these ECW guys in WCW. It just looks weird.
But I mean, you had 4 matches, 5 matches, 6 matches. The first 6 matches all had a wrestler from ECW in there.
Yeah, from ECW. Yeah. It was like you could see, like, again, okay, the important thing about history in general is it's not happening at once. It's not happening at different points. It's all happening at once. So this kind of fills out the layer cake of 1999 into 2000, into 2001. Why WCW collapsed, right? And why ECW collapsed? Because why is he laughing? I don't understand why he's laughing.
This is what you need to understand about history.
Yeah,
things all happen at once. Hey, this is what you have to understand about the present. Things happen. This is what you understand about the future.
Hold on a minute.
Yes, thank you for defining the definition of reality.
No, hold on.
I appreciate it, Dara. That's really important.
Remember, we are 20 years after getting WWE's version of history, which is absolute bull. It's absolute bull. So the way if you watch the Rise and Fall of WCW, which shouldn't because it's absolute garbage, and if you watch the Rise and Fall of ECW, which is less garbage, they actually don't really explain what happened. It's more like, oh, we're better, so the rest went out of business. It's like, no, Bischoff sold all of ECW's talent. There was nobody left in ECW. They went bankrupt because there was no one buying the pay-per-views, and WCW weren't as creative as WWE, brought in Vince Russo, and we'll get into it. But it's important to remember this as well. Like, this is probably the first time that you have been exposed to this, and your exposure to this, and I use you as a stand-in for most people who started to watch wrestling after the Monday Night Wars. But for me, this is how it was. You would flick over and you would see these talent happening at the same time. So it's weird to kind of go back as an adult, as a 30-year-old, to be like, whoa, okay.
So it's kind of like you're out in the yard and you're looking through your telescope and you're staring at the star and you're like, whoa, man, that's like from 20 years ago, but I'm seeing it now, man. Like, Dara, what the hell?
No, it's more like, when you're... So, no, it's more like...
No, but dude, like, stars could be like dead and we're only seeing them now, man. Happened once. No, I understand what you're trying to point out. It does make it happens at once.
It's important to remember that it's not just WCW was bad or ECW was bad, so if they left, it's like, no, they were actively because we don't really have that now. We're only starting to get that a little now with AEW, where like Dean Ambrose shows up and he becomes John Moxley. Like
that was a big moment.
Yeah, but that didn't happen for like 20 years. That wasn't a thing.
I get that, but also people get so tied into like, oh, this promoter and this wrestler and this, when it came down to the fact that the people who were on the board were like, Ted Turner, no, we just don't want any more wrestling on our programming because we want to change what's on our content. So they didn't have an outlet. So at the end of the day, they weren't going to get money, but people want to turn it into some over dramatized stuff. But at the end, it's just executives sitting around, because at the end of the day, as much as we love it, wrestling is just a TV show.
But with ECW,
I mean, it's not just. Well, no, it is just.
But with ECW, there is legitimate.
I look forward to your letters, but it's a TV show.
Well, just tweet at him. Tweet at him.
Yeah, send me a tweet. Hashtag Save Dave. Dave Stevens.
But no, like it's just worth keeping in mind that this is the first time. Like, this was a totally different time period. Like, I know that we joke when we're watching a WWE show with the blue content and the unhinged Jerry Lawler. But with WCW, it's important to set the parameters that people are going to show up from different promotions. It's going to be kind of weird and it's going to be a little bit crazy, because remember, they were throwing everything at the wall to try and compete with WWE, particularly at this point, because WWE were fire hot and they did not stop being fire hot until WCW died. So this is like them trying to compete with WWE at the top level, wiping. What? What?
I mean, no, it was they brought it back and they had some good years. The problem was, you lost Austin, you started to lose Rock, and the show was just, oh, Triple H is running the company with Stephanie.
Anyway, we're not getting.
Oh wait, it's not possible for Triple H to lose. Oh, this is people like to forget that. If John Cena was running NXT, man, the hate that Triple H would get. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, I'm saying is it's just important to keep that in mind. And if we are going to start covering 1999 WCW. It's going to
well,
be
then we should probably get to it at some point on this show.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, and kind of keeping that in mind.
I'm just curious. Is this show just essentially just going to be a preview for next week's show? Like, hey guys, we'll get to Spring Stampede at some time, but in the meantime, let's talk about how we're going to get there. So
in the match,
I like the coast to coast. So we were both going. So I like the coast to coast kendo stick. I appreciated that Sandman wasn't as drunk as usual.
My question is
kind of move.
So my question, okay, can I just say something, right? I know I'm not in the best of shape at the moment, right?
Sure.
I could have the same match as Sandman.
Yes.
Like literally, all he does, and to be fair, and that's not an attack on Sandman, right? I have a banjax knee from Taekwondo, so I'm in bits. But I could probably have a similar match to Sandman, and that's no shade on him. Like the punishment he puts himself through, that's his gimmick.
Yeah.
But he's not doing anything great. He's just punishing himself, and the amount of weapon matches he's having is unbelievable. I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, okay, I do respect it because I'm like, okay, you have to understand that you're gonna go and put yourself through all this kind of stuff. But why all the ladders? Like, so just happens, and he just kills himself with ladders for no reason. Unprotected chair shots, tables everywhere. It's brilliant. I love it, but I'm like, why? What was the goal here? Chastity as well is cool. I like Chastity.
Yeah, Chastity's fun. She doesn't have a Wikipedia page though, so
she does not know.
No, it's a shame.
She's Raven's sister though, apparently in kayfabe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of Raven, Scotty Riggs defeated Mikey Whipwreck in the next match, and I don't remember.
Hold on, we're not done yet. We're not done.
Are we not?
No. This is why I wanted to talk about it.
I see. Okay. Well, hey.
So in comparison to Sandman and ECW, right around the time, would you say he was better or worse here, or when he came back in 2006?
Okay. Well, I'm not even going to talk about. Well, actually, okay. I've seen him, I think, live once as well. I would say ECW is better because there was a huge cult of personality. You're welcome, Punk fan. There's a huge cult of personality about Sandman, where it was never. I mean, his entrances were far longer than his actual matches. Even in ECW.
This match was 11 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a totally different version of Sandman than the Sandman that I think of. I think of enters in through the crowd with Metallica blaring for like 10 minutes on loop while he goes through a 6-pack and he smashes his head with beer cans so he's bleeding before he even gets in the ring. He's throwing things with the fans and going crazy. And then he's blasted and a match happens and he's so messed up that he doesn't care when probably relaxes him more so he's less likely to get injured. He's probably what he told himself. And that was that. But this was more of like, oh, you can try. Like, look at that. You can stand on a rope when that's clever. And then
like they set up this, cool. But it's like, I've never seen Sam. Well, obviously I have seen this before, but like, even when he came back again, like 20 years removed from watching this show, like the last time he came and made like this kind of effort was never like, setting up spots and stuff. But then again, when he tries, the wheels kind of fall off. I love the start of the match where he went up to the top and they were, fighting around the stage. That was cool. But then when it goes back into the ring and it's just ladder, table, ladder. I did like the fact that they set up the table outside and they're like, oh, what's going on? Oh, that's setting up for something. Then Chastity fixes it and it collapses again. And you're like, oh man, this is not good. Like, cut away from it. Don't draw attention to it, It's
gonna happen. No, but they do. But that's the weird thing. They draw attention.
They draw attention to all this weird stuff that you're like, this would never happen in WWE. There'd be like, someone would have an aneurysm if this was shown on WWE,
But then, like, it makes me wonder: does this make it seem more realistic? Like, does this actually make the kayfabe?
Like I did like the end of it where they, they had like the ring barrier. And
can we talk about that?
Let's. So nasty. Like, man, I have to hand it to Sandman. Doing a guillotine onto and missing and then hitting the guardrail, which has no give, that looks incredibly sore. And it probably will, and then taking bumps on it. Oh my god!
Just everything I noticed about the ring setup is so jarring because I haven't looked at WCW in a bit. to see, just to remember during this era, because we're so used to now they're not super padded, but they make
safe.
it look more padded.
Yeah, they're really safe.
Yeah. No, this is just metal barricades that are legit metal barricades.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I know there's some gimmick, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, and it was during the match later with actually Mysterio that I was going, dude, there's like a thin mat and then just straight concrete for the rest of the ramp, and they're just throwing their bodies onto it. What is going on? Everything looks like, and maybe this was what they were going for, or they just didn't, this would want to do different, I don't know. But man, stuff just looked more dangerous in WCW than WWE.
It wasn't more dangerous. It was like, it wasn't like they had like more money, because money wasn't really the problem. It was just like the presentation of it. Like when you're watching WCW, you knew it was WCW.
I love the pyro. I love the
pyro was great. Yeah, the sparklers are great. The sparklers are great. But you knew it was WCW. There was no big secret of what show you were watching. You were watching WCW. Yeah. This was pretty much what, you know, there was, when you're watching WWE at this time wasn't so samey, but you could still tell you were watching WWE. With WCW, it kind of felt samey until the pay-per-views came along, and then they would try. And doing this weird stuff actually did kind of help. So I enjoyed it. I find it jarring that the commentary table isn't beside the ring. I hate that. I've never liked when the commentary table isn't beside the ring, because I think it.
Hey Siri, what does the word samey mean?
Similar.
Siri doesn't know.
Well, it means similar, Dave.
Similar? Oh, okay.
Similar, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to translate for them.
So
people out there that aren't you.
So let's move on. Remember, Dave, we are on FM radio in Ireland, where samey is a very common word.
Oh.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch.
So, Scotty Riggs defeated Mikey Whipwreck in a 7-minute train wreck. Was not a fan of any of this.
I don't remember it. Like I'm saying, like it's literally wiped from my mind.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah, I watched it so I watched the main event and Goldberg's match today. The rest of it I had watched on Friday, and I did not remember the Scotty Riggs match. So sorry. I remember Mikey Whipwreck coming out because I went, "Oh, what more WCW?" I will say, Conan's always killed it on the mic.
Yeah, Conan's great.
Forgot about him. The next match was him versus Disco Inferno. And it made me realize, oh yeah, that's why he works so well in TNA.
Yep.
With 3 Live Crew, right? Yeah.
No, it was he wasn't. No, honey, it was with LAX.
Oh well, LAX. I'm so sorry. Oh, Victor Hernandez. I'm so sorry. I actually know him.
LAX is great. They're one of my favorite tag teams.
Yeah. When did him throwing the shoe thing start? Was that just TNA or was that?
That was TNA. Yeah.
That was, yeah. So much
fun. So yeah, look, this was a fun match. Disco Inferno has always been my favorite. There's a great show, OSW review. Shout out to those guys, and they have them as their boys. You know, I've always liked Disco Inferno as like my boy because he's such a jobber, but he's great and he's always ripped. Oh man, he's in great shape. It's just that gimmick. I don't know how he managed to get a long career out of that gimmick. So fair play, but I don't know. I would have just been like, hey man, you know, maybe get a better gimmick because you're never getting out of the undercard, and he didn't. But
that's actually how it works. You just say, "Can I have a better gimmick?" And they go, "Oh yeah, sure."
Well, in WCW, you have creative control.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. Disco Inferno had full creative control.
He probably had a bit.
Well, you know who did have creative control?
Kevin Nash.
Also, probably, I bet you Macho Man had a little bit of creative control, and we can get to how terrible his outfit was later. Anyway, let's get this match out of the way. Mysterio defeated Barely Kidman.
I did not know where Dave was going with that. It's like, okay. All right. Rey Mysterio defeated Billy Kidman. I was cheering for Billy Kidman.
I have no interest.
Yeah, I hate both these guys, to be fair, and I don't like the cruiserweight title, so I never liked it.
I mean, I think cruiserweights are just terrible. They should be banned. No, I say that bump that Mysterio took to the outside was vicious on the concrete. I always appreciate the fact that Mysterio does those seated sentons because nobody else does them as well as he does. I don't know if he made that such a trademark that when other people do them, it almost looks like they're messing up a Hurricanrana. But when Mysterio does it, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely him.
Great thing about Mysterio on this time though as well, his knees aren't gone yet, so he can actually like move around really quickly, and it's awesome.
And even to be fair, just a couple years ago in like 2017 in Lucha Underground, his
Yeah,
matches against Prince Puma,
yeah, he was brilliant.
Oh my gosh,
yeah. Actually, that's the best run of his career, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ricochet told me that he's just hasn't changed. He's just as good as he was. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff there, but he'll always be considered the best. And it's not just because of merchandising or of career. It's
wait, hold on. What do you mean Ricochet told you?
I had a conversation with Ricochet.
Do you know Ricochet?
Yeah, I know. He was one of the guys that used to go to. Dude, I've showed you a picture I have of him when
I know
he's my age. We went.
I know, but you showed me pictures of like the guy you smelled as well.
Right, but when we leave my personal life out of it, no, yeah, he was. Well, because Ricky was
okay, you need to give context to what I said there.
All right, no, yeah, but we're not going to give it. Because we'll never get through this show. Fair. So just real short, yeah. So he wrestled in Jersey All Pro Wrestling, which I used to go to all the time because I had to train at college that was like a half-hour away. He wrestled in CZW. That's where he got his start. That's the first time I ever saw him do a double moonsault backwards. Insanity. He was like a scrawny little kid. I say little kid. We were both the same age. We still are because time happens at the same time. I don't know. He was cool. I don't know. I tweeted him one time about it, and that was his response. So.
Oh. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, good. Glad we got that out of the way. Also, Rey Mysterio without a mask is terrible. Juventud Guerrero without a mask is worse because at least Mysterio. No, never mind.
Do you know why he doesn't have a mask?
Who?
Mysterio.
Yeah, because he lost it to Chris Jericho and
he lost it to Kevin Nash.
Wait. Oh, so Juventud lost it to Jericho?
Yeah, but basically Kevin Nash wanted to make fun of Mysterio, like in shoot, and yeah, that's why he lost the mask. That's it. There was no other big reason. You'll see it when we go through the shows.
Huh?
Yeah. Kevin Nash did some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. No, but wait. People might actually have thought that we hated this. This was actually it was a very decent match. Like we were just playing with each other. Yeah. Anyway, we can't talk about the next match. So
no, actually, you know what is funny? Well, no, it's not funny. It's devastating, but it is funny kind of as well. When you watch it on the network, it doesn't exist. Like the match happens, it's like a tag team match, but it doesn't exist because they can't name who it is. So
wait, did it just kind of skip?
Was he not on Peacock?
I don't know. I need to
because
you're saying when it wasn't on.
Okay, so Chris Benoit.
I don't know how to. No, wait. This is only sound through. Let me make sure.
Yeah. So Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko defeated Raven and Perry Saturn. When you watch it on the network, however, it doesn't make any reference to Chris Benoit. Like none of them do, and it just says it's a tag team match. So I'm curious, have they just cut it completely from Peacock?
No. I thought you're saying that's what they did it on the network.
No. On the network it's there, but they don't actually reference
it. There was
it just
something that they beeped out, but I didn't know what that was because I was like helping somebody with her. I mean, never mind. I was totally just watching it in my.
So, yeah, look, this wasn't a great match. It was the start of the Radicals really wanting to leave.
Hear this, right?
It was the start of the Radicals really wanting to leave. So, yeah, it was what it was. And also Raven would be gone as well and be in WWE relatively soon as well. So, yeah, these guys were just wasted. Because remember, these were the workhorses of WCW and they just weren't being used. Scott Steiner defeated Booker T for the vacant US title. Scott Steiner is always great, always entertaining. Not the best worker in the world, but always entertaining.
Very entertaining.
16-minute
and you know what caught me when I watched this was just the fact that how young he looked in his eyes.
Oh yeah. He's not like haggard.
Actually seeing them. Yeah.
Booker T is one of the best young talents that you can watch in WCW around this time, which is why they gave him the big push in the invasion angle. But definitely worth watching. We're going to see a lot more of Scott Steiner and Booker T's really good work. This was a fun match if you didn't get a chance to see it. Next match was not a good match. Goldberg defeated Kevin Nash in a singles match in under 8 minutes. Dave, talk about Zalfa. Because I know you want to talk about... Macho Man's outfit.
Well, Macho Man's outfit was not in this match, so I'm very confused.
Oh, sorry, Miss Elizabeth. Sorry, Miss Elizabeth was there. I thought you were going to go in the bridge on that, but
no, I wasn't. Like, no, don't throw me a bridge to Terabithia, and then it turns out that it's just like a closet to Narnia. What the hell, man? So,
okay.
Just listen and know the match is there in full. You know what you're thinking of is how they have the little dots so you can select which match to go to when you watch it on the network. That does not exist yet as a feature on Peacock, so you just get the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay, that makes sense.
I can skip, but
that's very
jarring.
That's very jarring. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say very, what jarring, but we're on radio, so I can't.
The good thing is they do let you skip forward at like times 128 speed, which is
that's good. That's very good because you can't.
It actually makes a modern day Kevin Nash or Big Show match seem like a luchador fight.
Well, I was watching it on my smart TV and I can't actually fast forward through it, but then I watch it through Roku and obviously it's fine. So Roku's probably the best way to watch it. Yeah,
I'm just gonna plug Roku. Buy a Roku. It's the best. Buy a Roku.
Buy a Roku stick. Buy a Roku box. They're brilliant. They're the best way to watch anything. Like I love. It's my favorite.
Cast anything from your phone. Essentially.
Oh, it's unreal. It's so good. Roku's great.
I actually liked Goldberg versus Kevin Nash.
Really? Why?
Well, Kevin Nash still had knees.
Okay.
So it was nice to see him do some agility because that's things that you forget about. Because the Kevin Nash that I see in my head nowadays is the Kevin Nash that we saw at the Hall of Fame. Same with Scott Hall. Like I forget, like they used to be these like really jacked up guys. And I had just listened to the Broken Skull sessions with Goldberg when he was sitting down with Austin. And one of the things that he kept talking about was the fact that essentially he loved football because he's super competitive and he likes to hurt people. He loves how each play is just getting reset. He loves being on the line and he just wants to crash into the person and hurt them or have them, and like the strategy about Hall. And then so basically all these stories that you hear years, along the lines of Goldberg's not safe. He really is just trying to wreck you. And you're like, nah, he's still a professional. Clearly, he's making so. There's no way that they'd allow that. And after listening to him talk with Austin, I didn't feel so good about Goldberg anymore.
Shouldn't. Goldberg's not good. Never.
No. I disagree. He made me care about WCW when I was little because I heard about this guy called Goldberg who was unstoppable and unbeaten, and he played that to the T. And Kevin Nash, how dare you? But. Man, what is this? But yeah, I actually really, really always liked Goldberg. I thought that WWE missed a huge opportunity in 2003 when they did not have him win the title at in the Hell in a Cell match.
I will give it
if they had done that there instead of 2 months later, he might have had a run for 5-10 years and been like a huge force in the company. If he stayed safe. But the weirdest, saddest part about this is just. It gets me, man, like watching Luger and Elizabeth walk out together, and you can already tell that Luger's down. Like Luger's going down hard already at this point. That chair shot was pathetic that he delivered to Goldberg. I will say that Kevin Nash took that jackhammer like a champ. Kind of thought he was about a second away from getting paralyzed, so glad that didn't happen. But I don't know, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's weird to have Miss Elizabeth in this match and then Randy Savage immediately following. So they had to pass each other in Gorilla, and
it is immediate as well. It's like there's no break. There's no like big video package. It's like straightforward. Actually,
there was a really big video package building up the main event. I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, I get your point. They're right after each other.
They're right after well, look, even the WCW video packages though aren't like around the same time with WWE where they would be an event. It's just kind of like, here you go. And I don't like WCW. I don't like WCW video package because it's the bare minimum. It's not like we're gonna have to get used to it, man. Like we're gonna
it's not your 6-man scramble from '98. That's like the greatest intro of all time. But it's it's good.
It's good. It's good. Like it gets the job done. Like I jumping back into WCW is weird because it's like. All the stuff that you come to expect from watching WWE or even TNA had good video packages and production too. It's just like, okay, it's that small bit behind it. So
you know what I want to do though? Wow. I get what you're saying, but hear me out. I want to be in that like sparkler thing that Goldberg was in. I think that'd be so much fun. But like juggling like flaming torches while I'm doing it, and then like as the sparklers dissipate, the torches are like in their final state, and I use the smoke to blow them out as like a fireball.
He does like
that technique.
He does that.
No, I know he does that, but I'm saying if it was me and I'm juggling my torches. Oh, by the way, I juggle. Hit me up on Instagram or whatever. Like when I juggle like my flaming torches, to then use that breath to like blow it out into a fireball with the torches. Come on, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
We'll get into the match. It was 18 minutes of.
What do you mean getting to the match? We just finished the match. I was giving you my synopsis about the intro for Goldberg.
The main event.
Are you even watching the same show?
No, the main event.
Are we podcasting the same show?
The main event was 18 minutes of nothing. I don't like
Loved
four.
It was terrible.
Why?
No, it was I didn't like it.
No, it was terrible.
The only thing that saved it was talking over each other. No, the only thing that saved it was can I talk to your supervisor?
Well, Dave recovers, we have to take our break. We have to take our break because we are, of course, on Phoenix 92.5 FM.
Do watch this match. Follow me on Instagram, Dave Stevens. There you cover it.
Exactly. Guys, if you want to join in the discussion live, you can do. Usually every Friday night about 11:30 Irish time. And we have open phone lines, all that kind of good stuff as well. Dave should be back, God willing, of everything that's going on. And
everything that's good. It's not a tragedy. Great things are happening in my life. How dare you?
Absolutely.
There's not for my show.
No, definitely not. Trying to find people is very difficult. But yeah, so look, guys, if you like what we do here, the best thing you could do is go to Nerd to Know Media, find the links, or thewrestlingrewind.com. Take you right to our YouTube channel to support and like the videos. That really helps too. And if you want us to cover something, the best way to do it is just email us, let us know, or you can leave a comment below on the video as well. But if you're only listening to us on Phoenix FM, thank you. But what are you doing? Go over to thewrestlingrewind.com and find us there. We'll be back after this short break if you're listening to us on the live stream. If not, we're just going to continue.
We are. You want to know something cool?
Yeah.
My daughter played peekaboo for the first time last night with me. It was exactly.
Okay, and we're back. Dave, we take legit breaks now.
I don't know. It's something we do.
All right, so
I just ran out my YouTube channel for you. Whatever happens to it happens.
Well, guys, if you are listening to us on the live stream, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up in overdrive. And if you're listening to us on the True Penny channel, that's awesome. We do appreciate it. We do great numbers. Guys, what are you doing? Come on over and hang out live so we can actually talk to you, because the numbers are great. And then you're not here. What's going on? Come on. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. This is not cool. Whose manager do we talk to? We haven't got any. It's me. It's me.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
Oh, I need some PTO.
Yeah, you got it. You're just off it. What's going on?
Yeah, but now I need PTO for my PTO. So, don't we all?
Yeah.
I like that at least there was a Texas tornado style match, but on the other hand, it was very weird for that to be announced for a non-tag match.
Yeah, well, like,
I understand why they did it.
Well, WCW was always hard and fast with the rules anyway,
No, but there was there was one rule that, now I'm gonna have to think about this really quick. There was one rule that blew my mind, where in WWE it would have been like a stoppage, and in WCW, championships can change hands via DQ.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
So then, what would stop me from challenging? I don't know. Sting, if he's the world champion, from having you coming in and like hitting me with a chair, and then Sting gets disqualified because I get hit, and then I'm the champion.
This happened. You don't understand how bad WCW is going to get, my friend.
Why is that? But Jim Ross worked. What? Okay, whatever.
Yep. Anyway, look, the cool thing about it.
Wouldn't this be crazy, Dara? Did you even read your history books?
This happened. This is the
There's
way
no revisionism here. This actually was real.
But look, I really like DDP. I think DDP is like one of the coolest things to come from WCW. It's weird that WWE kind of ruined him with the whole stalker thing, but when you see him in his like heyday, it's you're gonna see it, man.
You know,
You just wait.
In all defense, you know what? His heyday was always going to be WCW because he was so old when he started. And I don't mean that in like
no, he was like 43 or something when he started. Yeah,
legitimately. And then from that, the things that he's done post wrestling, he's kind of like, think of a politician who, I'm not going to mention one from either side because it'll be a whole thing, but I'm thinking of one right now who was absolutely terrible in office. Not somebody I would have voted for anyway. But once he left, he then spent the next 30, 40 years of his career helping rebuild areas and starting a lot of charitable organizations. That was great. It was like, oh, you're a really awesome person, just not good at leading people in a country. We get it. That's cool. So like, that's kind of the vibe that I was getting from like DDP. It was like, okay, you now don't get me wrong. He was fun. He was great. His 15 minutes were spectacular, and he's been able to build his brand on it. But I feel like what he's doing now is so much better than what he ever did in wrestling. And I'm not saying what he did in wrestling was bad, so maybe that my comparison was off a little bit there.
No, it makes
that always gets more heated than, but yeah.
No, it does make sense. It does make sense. I know what I'd say to that is it's fair. It's a very fair comparison. But with this, remember, like in the mix here, Hogan still was the top dog for some reason. Sting was there as well, and then Ric Flair was there. The only real like young guy here was DDP, and he wasn't young. But I liked this match. I thought this match was like, when Hogan comes on the TV, I get kind of sick on my mouth a bit. But other than that, like, I thought it was pretty good.
Wow, he's only DDP's only 65 now.
Yeah, he was like 40 when he started. Well, 40ish when he started wrestling.
Yeah. I won't see.
He's not.
He was like a bouncer, wasn't he? For like,
I think so. Yeah.
Man. Hey, do you hear there was a new season of that Vice show we were covering?
Yeah, we totally got to start covering that again when it comes back.
Do that. Yeah.
Okay, so Dave,
so we show plan during shows. So what would Dave's? Yes.
So overall, what grade would, like, for your first real WCW show that isn't a train wreck? Can't even deny it. Like, you can't even deny it. What would you give it?
All right, hold on.
Letter grade.
No, I know. Oh, letter. All right. Well, what's your letter grade? Because I'm pulling a calculator out. Because I'm gonna do this as fair as humanly possible.
I'd give it a solid C+.
C+. So C+ is like
65.
2.5.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna do some math here. You're welcome, listeners.
Makes great radio.
Yeah, it makes a really great radio. Can you hear my keys clacking? I got brown switches.
So anyway, while Dave is doing that, guys, if you want to help out the show, the best way to do it is go over to
just dead air. So either
Nerds to Know Media, or you can go to the Wrestling Rewind, and you can find us there as well. We stream most Fridays. Well, we will be streaming Fridays at half.
Wow.
11. What?
Well, oh, half 11ish, whatever 5:30 Eastern is.
I'll have 10ish or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I remember trying to get there a little more sleep. He needs a little sleep in his life.
I do need
more. Yeah, look the blue in his eyes. So see, this is really funny. So you just said C+. Yeah, that was just what you went with, which would be a 2.5 in like the grading-ish scale, which cracks me up. I got 2.67 was the average that I gave. So there we go. We're at C+.
Yeah, C+.
The numbers don't lie.
No, and I think it's a fair grade. You know, it's, if you haven't started with WCW, do not start with this one. There are better shows.
I mean, you got to watch World War III. Fantastic.
Do not start with that show either. We watch it so you don't have to. But yeah, no, we're gonna start doing some more WCW stuff, because look, it's fun. I want to save 2000 WWE a little bit longer, and most people do that. We want to cover something a little bit different, something that isn't there, so that's what we're going to do, guys. Again, best way to support the show is by subscribing, liking the video, leaving a comment, all that good stuff, telling your friends. It really does help us. We're about to get to 4,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. on the
Listen,
YouTube.
if you made it this far, just subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're listening to us on the True Penny channel, we do appreciate it. But what are you doing? Come over to come and hang out with us.
But also listen there. Let's not throw thunder under the bus.
No, absolutely. No. But we want, the reason why I'm asking to come over here is so we can interact with you, so we can find out what you think about the show, you know?
We do actually have a live chat that is fun.
We do have a live chat. And we'd have to get James on as well to talk about some of the Japanese crossovers that happens in WCW.
Him and I have been sharing some videos back and forth.
Yeah.
And also talking wrestling, which is cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Dave just leaves everything hanging like. But no, we do appreciate the True Penny channel, everything they do for us as well, and Phoenix 92.5 FM as well. We've been on that channel for about nearly 10 years.
You have, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
made sporadic appearances over there, yeah.
This show, like, we started on the Rest of You network in 2010, was it? 2011?
Yeah, they hired me in 2008, and I think my show started. Yeah, podcasting wise, I think that was
So this show
that might have been 10.
So this show in some way has been going on for about 10 years, which is wild. So yeah, man. We're not going anywhere. We just like it too much. And the great thing about it is we don't have the current wrestling. If someone says to me, you have to watch current wrestling, I jump in front of a bus. But it's just like, no, I know. If it was Impact,
the Luger Express.
Oh, absolutely. No, if it was Impact or something like that, I wouldn't mind. But modern WWE, no way. This is fun. I like the fact we go back and do this, and it sucks that like Peacock is making it difficult, but it is what it is. Guys, if you want to email in at nerdtoknowmedia@gmail.com with anything you want us to watch, and that is going to do it. Dave,
preferably wrestling, but sure, anything you want us to watch.
Well,
tune in next week. You'll get this because y'all are near Britain. Tune in next week where we'll cover The Repair Shop.
I don't like that show.
I love that show. It's like great ASMR for me.
I don't know.
Dave, do you know how many times I have to Google that word literally every time I use it or phrase?
AMSR?
Yeah. I get it. Because I can't wrap my head around it. It's kind of like
it's noise. It's
explanations.
It's noise. It's
but not just noise. Can it also just be like it puts you in like a certain relaxed vibrational like
it stimulates certain things and relaxes you or whatever. Yeah.
So I think I feel like just really.
Anyway, guys, again, the cool thing about subscribing to the channel is you'll actually get our polls, but you also get like a communication directly what we're going to cover. We're going to do a show,
and not just the polls. We're international. I mean, America, the Irish, the English, bring them all in.
So what we're going to cover, and then also like post about what we're going to cover too. Remember as well, we do have phone lines. They're going to be in the description. So once we open them, you can call in and chat with us, which is I'm super excited about actually trying out to see if it works. And that is with the help of Twilio. So yeah, man, we have a lot planned, but I think the best way to do it is to tell the folks what we're going to be covering first, so they have something to talk about. Unless we're doing a live show about horrible WWE product, which I don't want to do anymore because I hate
SummerSlam's coming up, guys.
No, we will talk about it, but it is what it is. Right, Dave.
Yep.
Let's get out of here. What are you going to plug?
You know what? Dara's got an awesome band called Horrenda, and you guys should check them out on Spotify.
Thank you. And Bandcamp, and give us some money. That would really appreciate it. Man, we got a lot happening. There's a big Irish project happening soon as well, which is going to be really fun. But no, I appreciate the kind words, dude. That's great. Horrenda, we're on everywhere. You look for us, Horrenda Metal or whatever, and you can find us on Bandcamp and give us some money. We have t-shirts. We found t-shirts again after the plague.
Some money. We have t-shirts.
We do. We have t-shirts.
Those are just disconnected thoughts. Give us some money. Also, we wear t-shirts occasionally. I understand you're selling. I get the merch. I'm just saying I like the comma that I put in there.
Yeah, I like it too. It's fun. And we'll be back on Friday night to talk about, well, you guys decide. We're going to put a poll and then that's it. But it probably will be WCW related. I can promise you that much. And we'll see you then, guys. So goodbye.